Over the course of a dominant 23-year career, LeBron James has been arguably the most polarizing player in NBA history.
Let's go! Here comes LBJ! LeBron stands alone!
Almost everybody respects the king, but on and off the court, there are many who can't stand him.
The man will smile in your face, and he's got something behind his back, ready to stab you in it. And that's why I certainly don't like him.
Due to ego, trash talk, or simply because they couldn't stop him. Some NBA players felt the need to beef with LeBron, but if you come at the king, you best not miss. These are the players who tested LeBron James and failed miserably. One of LeBron's earliest enemies was the mid-2000s Washington Wizards. Between 2006 and 2008, Washington and Cleveland met in the playoffs for 3 consecutive seasons, and it always ended badly for the team from the U.S. Capitol. The first series in 2006 is mostly remembered for the trash talk between James and Gilbert Arenas, after LeBron tapped Gil on the shoulder before crucial free throws in the deciding moments of Game 6.
LeBron James talking to Arenas.
Arenas missed, after which Damon Jones, whom Gil had been trash talking the entire series, hit the clutch bucket for the win.
He doesn't even play in Game 6. So when he whispers, you know who's gonna hit it, everybody assumed it was him. I knew what he was talking about. And I think the thought went into my head, they really gonna put Damon Jones in
and let him hit a shot.
And they really put the man in. And the fact that LeBron even passed him the ball is what hurt the most.
They get it into Marshall. And right back in the hands of LeBron James. Here's your trap. They get it out of his hands. Hughes. Damon Jones puts it in with 4.8 remaining.
In 2007, the two teams matched up again, but LeBron and the Cavs swept a short-handed Washington squad, missing Arenas and Caron Butler. In March of 2008, during a regular season game, the Wizards were desperately eager to win against Cleveland. And in a tight contest, Washington was up by 2 with a few seconds remaining. DeShaun Stevenson drew the responsibility of guarding James on the game's deciding possession, and LeBron pulled up and missed a three-pointer. In the post-game interview, Stevenson was feeling himself, not shy to criticize the king. He's overrated, Stevenson said, and you can say I said that. If you look at the games and what's going on, I know when I go to sleep, I know we have to play LeBron James. When I go to sleep and know we have to play the Lakers, I know it's going to be a long night. It's the difference between the Kobes and LeBrons. James said he wouldn't respond to the criticism, saying that responding to Stevenson would be like Jay-Z saying something bad about Soulja Boy. Well, the beef went viral, and when the two teams met in the first round of the 2008 playoffs, Soulja Boy attended Game 3 in Washington, adding fuel to the fire by wearing a DeShaun Stevenson jersey. And even though Soulja Boy's presence invigorated the Wizards, who blew out the Cavs by 36 points, ultimately it all ended badly for Soulja and the guy whose jersey he was wearing. The Cavaliers eventually won the series in 6 games, with James averaging 30, 10, and 8, shutting down Stevenson, who averaged just 12 points and shot 37% from the field. To make things worse for DeShaun and the Wizards, Jay-Z then made an appearance at a club in Washington, referencing the beef in a diss song, adding more fire to the burn.
Ask my LeBron, it's so big we ain't gotta respond.
Now, during LeBron's first stint in Cleveland and the first couple of years in Miami, there was nobody who hated the king more than Joakim Noah. Noah was an energetic center for the Bulls, known for high intensity, being animated on the court, and playing tremendous defense, highlighted by the Defensive Player of the Year award in 2014. But when he was still coming up in the league, Noah wasted no time to start trash talking to the king.
And a conversation between LeBron and Joakim Noah right now. And LeBron now walking a little bit closer to Noah, who's still talking to him, and somebody's got to stop this. I mean,
The French center disliked anything about LeBron, feeling he was arrogant.
But he was arrogant and he's a stunner. There was moments where, you're down 20 points, you're shooting a free throw with your left hand, you dancing all over the court. I wasn't feeling it. So I let it be known that I wasn't feeling none of this.
His beef with James then famously took another nasty turn when he disrespected the whole city of Cleveland.
I just stayed in my hotel room, man. Every time I look out my window, it's pretty depressing out here, man. It's bad. It's bad.
You like it? You think Cleveland's cool? I mean, I never heard anybody say I'm going to Cleveland on vacation. What's so good about Cleveland?
And when LeBron went to Miami, there was no love lost, and the beef continued.
But you got to give credit when credit is due. And Miami's a hell of a team. They're Hollywood as hell, but they're still very good.
However, apart from a few regular season wins, Noah had little to show for on the court. He played 4 playoff series against James, losing every single one, with only 5 wins across the 4 series. LeBron averaged 27, 9, and 7 in those matchups, and it's easy to see why Noah was so frustrated.
Well, people have to understand that it had nothing to do with Cleveland. It had everything to do with LeBron James. Like, yo, every year you're losing. You know you have to get through him to get to the glory.
Around that same time span, as the Bulls and the Celtics started to fade, another Eastern Conference team emerged as LeBron's biggest rival, the Indiana Pacers. Led by Paul George, David West, George Hill, and Roy Hibbert, the Pacers were a scrappy defensive team who gave LeBron the biggest problems during his tenure in Miami. Just like the Bulls and the Wizards, and frankly any team during LeBron's time in the Eastern Conference, the Pacers had to go through James in the playoffs. Between 2012 and 2014, Indiana and Miami met 3 consecutive times in the postseason, and each series was a nail-biter. In 2012, it took a monster effort from LeBron and D-Wade to get past the Pacers in 6 games after losing Chris Bosh to an abdominal injury. Lance Stevenson, who was drafted in 2011, barely played for the Pacers, but he still found a way to grab headlines after he made a choking gesture from the bench after LeBron missed a free throw. When LeBron was asked about it, he wasn't happy at all. Lance Stevenson? You want a quote about Lance Stevenson? I'm not even going to give him the time. Knock it off. In 2013, Lance had a bigger role, playing in every playoff game. But despite the Pacers pushing the conference finals to 7 games, the Heat ultimately won, in a series that will forever be remembered by LeBron's buzzer beater in Game 1.
Battier gets it in. Here's James on the drive for the win!
And finally, in 2014, the 2 teams met in the conference finals again, and the Pacers were confident they could advance after convincingly winning Game 1. However, Miami countered with 3 straight wins. But in Game 5, Lance Stevenson made the whole NBA world remember his name. Lance played a tremendous series, taking the task of guarding LeBron, while also scoring the ball efficiently, as he led Indiana in scoring in Game 2 and grabbed a game-high 11 rebounds in Game 3. Stevenson did everything humanly possible for the Pacers to win, fighting tooth and nail on every possession, and getting under LeBron's skin, provoking him any way he knew how. And it worked. In Game 5, he stole the ball from James, tripped him up, and elbowed him, while simultaneously getting LeBron in foul trouble, which resulted in a career-low 7 points for the King on horrible 2-for-10 shooting. However, nobody will remember any of Lance's defensive plays or any of his 12 points. Instead, he'll be remembered for something no NBA player has ever done before or since.
Including this, blowing in the ear of LeBron James, and James' reaction. He can't believe it.
But even though Indiana won that night and extended the series, in Game 6, LeBron was mad, determined to shut Lance up for good. As you can probably guess, that's exactly what happened. Miami blew out the Pacers, leading by 33 points after 3 quarters, and beat Indiana for a 3rd consecutive year. But unlike Deshaun Stevenson, Joakim Noah, and Lance Stevenson, there was one player who beefed with LeBron and actually had some bragging rights over him. In 2011, the Dallas Mavericks won their first NBA title, and most of the credit deservedly went to Dirk Nowitzki, the Finals MVP. But the second best Mavericks player in that series was Jason Terry, who averaged 18 points per game in the Finals.
Nowitzki wants the ball, has them again, excellent ball denial. Terry, a long 3, bang! Gives the Mavericks a 7-point lead!
During the offseason, Terry appeared in a music video for rapper Young Jeezy, where he gloated about the championship. In the behind-the-scenes footage for the song Win, Jason was caught singing, "Lose, lose, lose. I feel like LeBron and them now." When he signed with the Celtics for the 2013 season, the Jet quickly boasted about his new team and showed his hatred for Miami, the defending champs. "I'd love to see Miami in the playoffs, so we can roll through the champions," he said. "We're fired up. We'd love that matchup." LeBron picked his poison. "They put him on me to shut me down in the 2011 finals, and he couldn't get the job done," Terry said. Hopefully, he gets another chance this year in the Eastern Conference Finals or wherever we match up. But the Celtics never got a chance to meet the Heat in the playoffs because they lost the first-round series against the Knicks. However, Terry still played LeBron in Miami during the regular season, and it didn't end well for him. Jason turned the ball over, which resulted in a Miami fast break. Norris Cole found LeBron cutting to the basket, with Terry as the lone defender. What happened next was one of the nastiest dunks in NBA history.
Jason Terry, good defense. Wade from behind takes it away. Chalmers, Cole, James!
When asked about the dunk, LeBron was happy to get his revenge on Terry. "It's one of my better ones." And the fact that it happened to JT makes it even that much sweeter, because we all know how JT talks too much sometimes. However, this next player didn't beef with just LeBron, but just about anybody. For the last decade, he has been the biggest villain in the NBA. And of course, we're talking about Draymond Green. Drafted in 2012, Draymond barely played at the beginning of his career. But after David Lee went down with an injury during the 2015 season, Green was inserted into the starting lineup and never looked back. Draymond became the heart and soul of the Warriors, their defensive anchor, and a guy who would pick a fight with anybody trying to say something slick. Green's first nemesis was the Clippers and Blake Griffin. After they met in the 2015 finals, Dre quickly grew a distaste for LeBron.
No, I hate LeBron. We had no relationship at all.
And even though Golden State won the finals, James absolutely dominated Green and the Warriors, averaging 36, 13, and 9, and looking like a man amongst boys. But the bragging rights belonged to Draymond, who used them to the fullest.
Klay Thompson, yeah. Splash Brothers, yeah. Cavaliers, nope. We won, yeah. They suck, yeah. We here, yeah. They not, nope.
In the 2016 finals, LeBron's Cavaliers and Draymond's Warriors met again, and the beef escalated and went viral. In the closing minutes of a Warriors blowout in Game 4, LeBron stepped over Draymond, after which Green hit him in the family jewels. LeBron obviously didn't like it, chirping back at Draymond, and Green responded by calling James a bitch, among other obscenities that James didn't take too kindly.
Draymond just, he said something that I don't agree with. I'm all cool with the competition. I'm all fine with that, but some of the words that came out of his mouth was a little bit overboard.
Green retroactively received his 4th flagrant foul of the postseason, triggering an automatic suspension for Game 5, which was crucial for the Cavs to win that game on the road. And even though they had a 3-1 lead in the finals, the Warriors ultimately lost the series, largely because of Green's suspension, and because he pissed off LeBron, who played like a madman for the rest of those finals.
Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup, oh, blocked by James! LeBron James with the rejection!
In the aftermath of Cleveland's first championship, LeBron trolled Green and the Warriors with an Ultimate Warrior t-shirt, and he did the same during his 2016 Halloween party. When the Warriors won the 2017 finals against LeBron and the Cavs, Draymond responded with a petty shirt of his own, which simply said Quickie, as a reference to the Cavaliers Arena, which was then named Quicken Loans Arena. But through mutual agent Rich Paul and business partner Maverick Carter, Draymond and LeBron eventually became good friends, and their beef evaporated completely.
LeBron used to be like, yo, why y'all deal with this dude, man? Like, and so just me being around Rich, me and Brian naturally ended up being around each other more because I'm tight with Rich and Matt. And then we started to build a relationship. I realized, like, damn, bro really just like me.
This next player has a similar story, as he had a beef with LeBron, but eventually got on his good side after they became teammates. Stanley Johnson had a solid college career at Arizona, which helped him get selected 8th overall by the Pistons in the 2015 NBA Draft. But even though he was just a rookie, Stanley didn't waste any time talking trash to the best player in the game when the Cavs played the Pistons in the first round of the 2016 playoffs. "I'm definitely in his head, that's for sure," Johnson said after a 107-90 Game 2 loss to the Cavs. "He laces his shoes up the same way I lace my shoes up. He has to come out there and compete and make his shots. He doesn't come prepared. That's the NBA. Anybody and everybody can get busted any night." Johnson then doubled down and went on to trash talk the rest of the Cavs. "LeBron jabbers. He moves his mouth sometimes. Their whole team does, kind of like their little cheerleaders on the bench. Every time you walk in the right corner, they're always saying something like they're playing basketball, like they're actually in the game. There are only 7 or 8 players who play. I don't see why the other players are talking. They might as well just be in the stands, in my opinion." Now, that's a pretty big statement from someone who scored less than 600 total points in the NBA at the time. And James quickly made him eat his words. Cleveland swept the Pistons, with LeBron going 13 for 15 from the field when Johnson was his primary defender in the series.
LeBron backing on Stanley Johnson. There's that matchup again. LeBron connects from in front.
Stanley learned his lesson, and in 2022, when he became LeBron's teammate on the Lakers, this beef had a happy ending. But this next beef not only doesn't have a happy ending, but it's also clear that this player hates LeBron to this day. It's Enes Kanter, or Enes Kanter Freedom if you will, who began his feud with LeBron in 2017 after James commented on the Knicks' draft selection.
The Knicks passed on a really good one, and Dallas got the diamond in the rough. He should be a Knick.
New York selected Frank Ntilikina, while LeBron suggested that they should have picked Dennis Smith Jr., to which Kanter responded on Twitter. When the Cavs played the Knicks later in the season, LeBron was asked about his and Kanter's comments.
And I wasn't throwing shade at Frank at all. For people that got their pants in bunches and things of that nature here in New York, I look for any controversy here. And for Enes Kanter, who always got something to say, I don't know what's wrong with him.
Fast forward a few hours, and James, Kanter, and Ntilikina were in the center of an on-court scuffle.
And LeBron James and Ntilikina, and that's what the crowd was waiting for. Oh, Kanter doing some mouthing. Oh, that ain't my house. It is Kanter. You knew he was going to mouth off at some point. Here we go.
But the game ended as an embarrassment for Kanter and the Knicks, as the Cavs won in a blowout. And back in 2016, while Kanter still played in OKC, LeBron was so bored by the blowout game that he started playing the flip the bottle game at the end of the bench.
And LeBron James is trying to do that water bottle challenge where he has it land and stand up. That's what it's been reduced to.
Kanter remembered that incident and didn't like it one bit.
I'll tell you one thing, this team is really special. And you ain't coming to my house playing that water bottle flip game again. You know what I mean? I don't care who you are, king, what do you call yourself, king, queen, princess, whatever you are. You know what, we're going to fight. And nobody out there going to punk us.
LeBron responded again, saying that Kanter's comments were corny and doubling down by reiterating.
That's corny. Well, I'm the king, my wife is the queen, and my daughter is the princess, so we got all three covered.
And for good measure, James posted a picture on Instagram with the caption, "You're welcome, King of NY," calling Madison Square Garden his favorite playground. When the two teams met in New York, James shrugged off questions about Kanter during the shoot-around, and during the game, he wore a pair of Nike LeBron 15s that read, "I'm King." Later that season, when LeBron got ejected for the first time in his career against the Heat, Kanter immediately trolled James with his famous hashtag, #StriveForGreatness. He later repeated this tweet several times whenever James had a bad game. However, when the season ended, Kanter playfully challenged LeBron to prove he was the king of New York by signing with the Knicks as a free agent on July 1st.
Okay, who is the really king of New York? Hey, LeBron, yes. You really want to be king of New York? Come and prove it. I'll see you July 1st, brother. Good luck.
And Kanter didn't stop there. During the pandemic, he appeared on CNN, where he expressed disappointment in James for not being a more vocal advocate for the vaccine.
You know, when I heard it, I was very disappointed, and it's ridiculous. You know, obviously LeBron James, he's one of the face of the league, and he should be the first one to go out there and say, listen, everyone, you know, I got the vaccine, and I'm encouraging everyone. I hope he can educate himself about this vaccination and inspire and encourage other people around him.
Weeks later, Enes sent out a direct shot at Nike, mentioning its founder Phil Knight, James and Michael Jordan's Jordan brand, and sharing a picture of custom Jordan sneakers, bearing messages reading "modern-day slavery" and "hypocrite Nike," among other things. And even though James stopped responding to the Turkish center, that didn't stop Kanter from criticizing him. If you play with someone like LeBron, it's all about LeBron, Kanter said after the Lakers' poor season with Russell Westbrook. When I see a dictator, I know it. LeBron is literally like the dictator of the NBA. He controls the media. He controls his narrative. If you go against his agenda, you get traded. Everybody knows it, Kanter said in 2024, showing that he still hates James's guts. But even though their feud is now completely one-sided at this point, with Kanter not playing in the NBA since 2022, most fans will remember Kanter getting humiliated by James by flipping the bottle. As the Knicks, well, they weren't even good enough to keep the game interesting in the fourth quarter. And the latest beef anybody had with LeBron on the court happened with one of the biggest NBA instigators in recent memory, Dillon Brooks. Brooks got known as the guy who gets in people's faces, trash talks and taunts. But back in 2021, he was the one getting taunted, and by none other than LeBron James. After he made several clutch shots over Brooks, the King gave him a too small gesture.
LeBron behind the back. LeBron free throw line. Tough shot from 18. No.
And the Canadian swingman never forgot it. 2 years later, after a game where he and several of his teammates nearly got into a fight with Shannon Sharpe, Brooks was in a vengeful mood, bragging about guarding LeBron. He doesn't want to go left. I was just making him go left all game. Then he would settle or he would pass the ball. But this was just a prelude of more beef to come. As the 7th-seeded Lakers advanced through the play-in to play the Grizzlies, Brooks was brimming with confidence. I don't mind playing LeBron in a 7-game series and knocking him out right away. And after a great performance in Game 2 where he bothered LeBron all night and helped the Grizzlies win, Brooks was again feeling himself.
You know, I don't care, he's old. I pull bears. I don't respect no one until they come and give me 40.
Brooks said with a deadpan stare. He didn't stop there.
You know, he's not at the same level as he was when he was on Cleveland, when he was in championships, Miami. You know, I wish I got to see that. You know what I mean? It would have been a harder task.
As usual, James didn't make a comment, but instead he made a fool out of Brooks on the floor, who got ejected after a flagrant 2 on LeBron.
Stepped on the line when he caught the ball. LeBron down.
That the contact by Brooks to James was unnecessary and excessive. He's been issued a flagrant foul penalty 2 and has been ejected from the game.
After which, he declined to speak to the media. And in Game 4, James made several clutch baskets over Brooks, again proving that he's the last player you should trash talk to. And Dillon again refused to talk to the press.
Dillon Brooks picks up James. He wanted James. He gets him. James drives. James is fouled! LeBron!
But the biggest slap in Brooks' face came in Game 6, which the Lakers won by 40 points, sending Brooks and the Grizzlies home. And after Brooks got the 40-piece he was wishing for, LeBron added insult to injury with a funny Instagram post. Thanks for watching. And if you like this video, we have another one for you right here.